Cricket presents The Campfire, and today we are talking District 6-5A Division 1. The schools in this district include Frisco, Centennial, Heritage, Lebanon Trail, Liberty, Lone Star, Reedy, Wakeland, and Sherman. Let's analyze these teams in our film session. Last season, Reedy was unbeatable during the regular season. The Lions proved they could not only win by wide margins, but pull out some last-second wins as well. Reedy finished 12-1, but graduated the district's offensive, defensive, and special teams players of the year. That's a lot of talent to replace, but they do have one of the best O-linemen in the state returning, in Max Anderson. Lone Star finished second in the district despite having to go to their third-string quarterback for most of the year. The Rangers will have Colin Blackstock healthy and ready to go behind center this fall, and should be a favorite to challenge for that title. Wakeland, Heritage, and Frisco High finished the season tied for third. The Wolverines bring back the most experienced signal caller in 6-5A, with Brennan Meyer back for a third season as quarterback. Heritage got bit by the injury bug pretty bad last year, but managed to make the postseason behind Defensive Newcomer of the Year, Obi Unum. Frisco was the odd team out for the playoffs, but they return Offensive Newcomer of the Year Cam Pendergraft at running back. Sherman could be the district's surprise team, especially with highly touted linebacker Kane Bowen back for his junior year. Centennial will get a boost from a healthy Harry Stewart in the backfield. Lebanon Trail and Liberty combined for just one win last year and will look for overall improvement in 2023. Switch to Cricket and get a free Moto G 5G with your new plan. Smile, you're on Cricket. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Do you or your student want a career training the world's best athletes? Check out our bachelor's degree in Strength and Human Performance today. For an even deeper look at 6-5A Division 1, here's producer Warfa Sold and insider Matt Diggs with a district breakdown.
All right, it is District Breakdown time, 6-5A Division 1. I'm here with Professor Matt Diggs, our high school insider. Man, this district was wild last year. It was a race to the finish to get all the 4 teams in there. It took down to week 11 to figure out who that last team was in. Man, is it going to be as crazy as it was last year as far as figuring out who's going to make the postseason, or do you have some favorites?
It might be even crazier. Of all the districts, I made a tweet about this a couple of weeks ago, put 6-5A, maybe other than the number 1 team, in a blender and just try to figure it out. I mean, you could see something crazy like Frisco Lebanon Trail ending up at second place in this district. You just never know with these Frisco ISD schools because there's such parity. You get so many move-ins. They have all very good sub-varsity programs. It is just a craziness. I've got some predictions. I've got some thoughts, but sometimes my thoughts don't always work out when it comes to Frisco ISD, and I have been more wrong. And last year, if you remember Frisco Wakeland, that they had some of the biggest head-scratching games over and over and over. They would lose a game to Sherman that they weren't supposed to lose, and then they would beat Frisco Lone Star, beat everybody else in the district, and then they would lose to Frisco Reedy, and just all kinds of head-scratching games when it comes to Frisco Wakeland. But they do got their quarterback, Brennan Meyer, coming back, and he's a very special player. But Frisco Lone Star, they look like the real deal again. They've got a lot of talent coming back, and they've got a lot of talented freshmen that a lot of people aren't talking about. I saw our guy Greg Powers from Dave Campbell. He did a write-up on some of these 2026 players, and they've got a couple of very special freshmen.
All right, Diggsy, let me hear what you got 1 through 9.
1 through 9, you got Frisco Lone Star number 1, Frisco Wakeland number 2, Frisco Heritage number 3, Sherman 4, Frisco 5, Frisco Centennial 6, Frisco Reedy 7. I know it's not going to be a very popular pick for your hotline. Frisco Lebanon Trail number 8, and Frisco Liberty number 9.
Yeah, Reedy fans are not going to want to hear that. I'm going to get the phone calls. I'm ready. I'm standing by. But that's what you're all about, Diggs. Stirring up the pot, letting people know what's going on well ahead of time so they're prepared and they're not shocked by anything.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now let's take a look at some game changers in our Players on the Rise, presented by Parker University. If there is a favorite for district MVP going into the fall, it might be Brennan Meyer of Frisco Wakeland. As a sophomore, he was Newcomer of the Year, and he wound up as a first-team All-District selection as a quarterback as a junior. Meyer threw for almost 3,500 yards and 39 touchdowns for the Wolverines with just 6 picks. Brennan is a pocket passer who uses his excellent vision to work the entire field. Meyer helped lead Wakeland deep into the baseball postseason as well. At Frisco Centennial, Harry Stewart hopes to stake his claim as the best running back in 6-5A. Harry only played 6 games last year, but ran for 629 yards and 5 scores. In a healthy sophomore campaign, Stewart was just 4 yards shy of a 1,000-yard season. Harry regularly breaks through arm tackles as he makes good use of his size. He is looking for a good bounce-back season in 2023 and has offers from SMU, Michigan, and Oregon State, among others. Lone Star's Davian Gross is just a sophomore, but he's already being touted as one of the best athletes in North Texas. As a freshman, he played in 5 full games and still ran for 563 yards and 5 touchdowns. Gross is a problem in the passing game as well. With still 3 years of high school ball ahead of him, Lone Star looks to play him in a variety of different positions to showcase his athleticism. Davian already has offers from Texas Tech, TCU, and SMU, among others. Frisco Reedy's Max Anderson already has the size of a college upperclassman, but still has his senior year left to dominate defenses. The offensive tackle measures up at 6'5" and 305 pounds as he gets defenders on their back heels and just flattens them. Anderson has narrowed his college choices to 8, which include SEC juggernauts Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee, among others. Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today. Switch to Cricket and get 4 lines for $25 each per month, plus unlimited nationwide 5G. Smile, you're on Cricket. Our Ward Fasold sat down with Lone Star head coach Jeff Rayburn to talk about his Rangers and the rest of the district in our Media Day segment.
All right, welcome to Media Day. We are with Lone Star's head coach Jeff Rayburn. We're talking 6-5A Division I. Coach, you talk about last year before we get into this year, and you guys started off district play 0-2 before you reeled off 7 in a row. You think about that district and the familiarity you have with all the other teams, and it really comes down to balls bouncing your way. And it kind of did that way, if I'm all honest, for Reedy. For you, it didn't go that way at all. All you did was sit your little butt over there in the training room and watch your guys go in one after another. Talk about how you guys got through that season and not only got through it, but finished second place. I mean, me and you talked before the Heritage game. You said if we get the playoffs, man, we've done something special here at the coaching ranks. But talk about how tough that season was.
Yeah, it was a season like no other. Was really proud of our kids and the resiliency and of them, and just be able to face all the adversity. And we're super proud of our coaching staff. May have been the best job our coaching staff has done here at Lone Star. Going to game 1 and lose our starting quarterback. Going to game 2 in the second quarter, lose the second quarterback. And so we ended up playing, moving a safety over to quarterback week 3. First time he played quarterback since his freshman year. And also he was the quarterback over there on defense at safety. So had a lot of bumps and bruises, and sometimes that's the way the game goes. And so we had to adjust and adapt and find a way to make it go. And after a couple of weeks, we got back on target and found a way. And I was just so proud of the resolve of our kids. And they didn't blink. They didn't flinch. Bennett Fryman came in there and played quarterback at such a high level. We changed dramatically on offense. We changed dramatically on offense when he came in there, and we played to his strengths and found out what we could do moving forward.
I appreciate it, and good luck this year.
Appreciate you. Thanks for what you do.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That's going to do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we head to District 7-5A Division I. Until then, have a great week, everybody.